All right, guys, so delta math. So in this case, you're going to hit start, and it's not shapes on a graph. It's using the rules that you should have copied down off our page today, the transformation rules. Make sure you get the x equals y reflection and y equals negative x reflection. That's typed underneath that as well. If you do not have that readily accessible, this is going to take you forever, because every time you mess up, the time starts over, and so does your score. So you need to get 10 out of 10 correct, and you have 100 seconds to do so. So reflection over the y equals x. So the rule for y equals x is your A, B just switch places. So 4 and 8 both stay positive. They just switch places. So now we have an answer correct, 1 out of 10. Reflection over the x axis of the 0.37. So as it reflects over the x and y stay in the same place. Y becomes negative. So we're looking for 3,7, but not where x is negative, where y is negative. Reflection over the y equals x. So y equals x again. A and B are the same as far as their positive negativity, but they switch places. So 2 and negative 9 become negative 9 and positive 2. So they don't change their power, their positive negatives, but they change their place. So x becomes y becomes x. 180 degrees counterclockwise or clockwise. Remember, at 180, it doesn't matter which direction you go. You're going to still end up in the same place. Around the origin of the point -9, -7, the rotation of 180 makes your x, y become opposite as far as positive and negative. So x still is x. It just becomes positive if it was negative and negative if it was positive. So 9 and 7 will stay in their place, but instead of both being negative, they will both be positive. So we're at 4 out of 10. Rotation 270 counterclockwise. If you're looking at your notes, that's that CCW counterclockwise, which is the same thing as 90 degrees clockwise. And then that rule is XY. The X and Y switch places, and the X becomes negative. So your second term becomes negative. So X and Y switch. So we know it's going to be a 9 and a 1. And then the one in the back, the number in the back, which would be a 1 when we flip it, is going to become opposite of what it was. So in this case, it was positive. It's going to become negative. So 9, -1 should be our correct point there too. And then reflection over the y-axis of the point -2, 6. So reflection over the y is xy. Xy stays in the same place, but x becomes opposite. So 2, 6 is still going to be 2, 6, but the 2 is going to become positive. So +2, +6. Reflection over the y-axis, again, they stay the same. X becomes opposite of what it was, so +6, +9. 6 is going to become negative, so -6, +9. Reflection over the x-axis, again, they stay in the same place, but this time the y becomes opposite of whatever it was. So since it is now positive, it is going to become negative. X stays exactly the same, so we'll have -4, -5. Rotation 270 counterclockwise, again, that's CCW on your notes, is the same thing as 90 degrees clockwise around the origin. And that rule means X, Y, they switch places, and then the second term, what was in the place of X becomes opposite. So -1 is going to come to the front, 2 is going to go to the back, and that 2 is going to become a negative. So they'll both be negative terms. Reflection over the y equals -x. AB switches, and both become opposites. So was positive becomes negative, was negative becomes positive. So 8 is going to go in the front, and it's going to become negative. 3 is going to go to the back, and it's going to become positive. And we are done. 10. Current time, 196.69. Best time is 203 of my practice. So this will be what I will get to see when I go to grade your score. And you can start over if you want to try again and get a better time. Your time to beat is 100 seconds. So you would like to be at 100 or under for 10 correct. It took me twice as much time, but I had a lot of explaining to do. So for a perfect score, you are going to have 100 seconds with 10 or less with 10 correct in a row. Great job, guys.